I'm going to review the Milwaukee 2-battery string trimmer, and this one is actually replacing, well, it replaced 2 years ago. This replaced my STIHL FS 131, which is a big boy string trimmer by STIHL. Had the bicycle handlebars on it, heavy duty. So I used that STIHL for a few years, and you know, it was okay. I don't have any real complaints about it. At least I didn't up until I tried this one out. You know, I as you've seen in my other videos, I went with the Milwaukee battery chainsaws. Those replaced my STIHLs, so I like those so much that I went ahead and got rid of the STIHL FS 131 and got this Milwaukee 2-battery string trimmer instead. So we're going to do a review here, and we're going to use my opinion based on my experience with the STIHL FS 131, which is probably quite a bit more string trimmer than most people have for the gas string trimmers. So I think it's a pretty good comparison. First thing I'm going to do here, I have no idea how much string is on this right now, and I got a pretty long walk to where I got to go to actually use this. So I'm going to go ahead and whatever's on here I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to load new string on here. This is the Dusty. I've had this for about 2 years, so this is not an open box review by any means. It's gotten a lot of use on it. You can tell by looking at it. This is the string Milwaukee recommends for it. It's like a spiral type string. It's 105 thousandths. You get 180 feet on this spool, and I want to say this was $12 for this entire package of a 180 feet, 105 thousandths. What I used to use on the STIHL was this stuff, and this looks like, I can't tell if that's 110 or 114. It looks like 114 feet, and this is 95 thousandths. So it's actually, and this is the top grade string that STIHL sells. So this is not the cheap stuff that STIHL sells. It's and this was $14.99. So you got less feet, smaller diameter string, and more money to buy it. Granted, it's only 10 thousandths of a difference. You can just barely feel the difference when you put the two together and run them in your finger. But you know, one thing about this, when I string trim my whole property and I start out with a full spool of the STIHL, I would run out of string. You're starting with that STIHL spool fully wound, as much string on it as I could get. I would start out with it full, and I couldn't even finish this whole property before I ran out of string and had to reload that thing. So I don't know if it's just the better quality string that Milwaukee uses, or if that 10 thousandths of an inch actually matters that much, but I can do my entire property about 4 times on just one load in this Milwaukee string trimmer. So we're going from, I would have to stop and refill about 3/4, just about almost done, but about 3/4 of the way through string trimming with the STIHL. I'd use up that whole spool of this more expensive string. This is supposed to be good quality string that STIHL sells. This isn't even in the cheap junk stuff that STIHL sells. So this is their commercial grade stuff. And versus this is all Milwaukee sells. So this is their only string option. And like I said, I can do my entire property 4 times on just one load. And they both spools average probably, I got 15 feet written on here, so, and I've got 15 feet written on this one. So both of them must have held about 15 feet of string I'm guessing that's why I had that written on there. I wrote that on there 2 years ago when I bought this. But so I'm gonna pull this off just because I don't know how much string is on here. I don't even have a good guess, and I don't actually remember how many times I've used this spool. So I'm gonna take this off. We're gonna pull. Yeah, there's just, see, I would have definitely ran out. Maybe, yeah, I would have definitely ran out once I got out there. So that's probably 4 full runs on a full spool. So to get this loaded, it's also a whole lot easier than the steel. On a steel, you had to take this spool off and you had to wrap the wires around it by hand. This one is a whole lot easier. I'm gonna pull out about 2 arm lengths of this stuff. That'll be more than enough. It should, in theory, be about 12 feet. And more for fun. Cut that off. It's even hard to cut with plastic line. Yeah, my cutters are just that messed up. I'm even having a hard time cutting it. This stuff doesn't break. You know, I go around and hit it into the fence and hit it on the gravel driveway and everything else. I'm even gonna cut it. See what else I got here. Red mark. I probably better redo that because I'm about ready to lose it. Just line the hole up with that mark. Hit the feet too. There it goes. So I'll pull it through till I get to the middle of it by matching up both my ends. Right about there. So you hold the base piece in, hold it still, push in on this and turn it clockwise. That ought to be good right there. Pull it. See, I got a little bit too much. It's got a built-in cutter on it, just like all of them do. So when the string comes around at speed, it'll clip that off. All right, so we got string loaded. I'm running this with the M18 4.0 FORGE batteries, fully charged. So these 2 8.0 batteries will do my entire property, all right, on just a single charge of these. I can pop these fresh in right into the string trimmer now. And I can do my entire property on that one charge. This is a big property. A whole lot more than your average suburban home is gonna be. So in comparison to that, on my steel, I would fill up, I think it was a 2.5 gallon fuel can, and mix it with the pre-mixed oil. Even though it was a 4-stroke, you still, on the steel 4-stroke engine, you still have to use 2-stroke oil in it. So about 2.5 gallons would do this entire property. So I'd have to stop and keep refilling that thing as I go. So that's not very convenient when I'm, you know, half a mile this way, a half a mile around the property trying to run out of gas and then have to walk all the way back to the gas can because I don't carry the gas can with me. So, you know, it's a pain in the ass. And then not to mention, every time, you can see I'm driving a diesel truck, every time I have to go to town to get gas for that steel trimmer, I've got a 30-minute well, it's about a 45-minute round trip drive. If I stop for gas, there's an hour for me to pack up the gas can, drive to town, fill up the gas can, come back home. There's an hour of my time wasted right there. And not to mention all the diesel fuel. And with diesel fuel right now at $5–6 a gallon, you know, that's an added expense right there. I don't have to go anywhere to do this. I just throw these batteries on the charger and they're ready to go anytime, day, night, doesn't matter. I don't have to go to town to charge the batteries. So by the time you calculate in the 2-stroke oil, 2.5 gallons of gas, and the fuel it costs me in diesel to run to town and back, we're looking at, to do this entire property, we're looking at about $30 is what I believe it averages out to be. So $30 every time I string my property. That's like once a week. Okay, now I calculated out how much these batteries cost me to charge. For one full charge of both batteries with my current electric rate, and these 2 batteries will do my whole property, the same as what cost me $30 to do on the STIHL. These 2 batteries to get to fully charged from dead cost me 40 cents. So 40 cents to do my entire property versus $30 with the STIHL to do my entire property. Once a week, you know, that's 4 weeks in a month. It adds up really fast. You know, even though you're only string trimming in, you know, certain seasons of the year, you're still doing it every week for a few months at $130 a pop versus 40 cents. It cost me 40 cents to charge these 2 batteries and do this entire property. So, I mean, you're ahead right there on cost savings. Not to mention the money you're saving on string, because you're buying a whole lot less string. You're getting a whole lot more string in a roll, and the string is cheaper. So, I mean, that's a win for me right there, just in itself. But, you know, what it all comes down to is, does the thing actually work? So that's what we're going to go see right now. And you can see I just done that whole strip along the road. My string's still perfectly intact. Even though I'm hitting the asphalt half the time, I still didn't have to bounce the head and add more string. It went right through it. The other thing that's nice about this is, as you can see, I'm going down the side of the road. I can get my mower up onto most of that, but there's still that little bit of tall stuff I like to take off there to keep it clean along the road. With the STIHL, I got that motor, that gas motor, just screaming the whole time I'm running it up here. I can't hear cars coming. And with this thing, I can hear a car coming. I got a blind, you can't see it here, but here's one more thing that I was going to point out. Once you got the batteries in, you hit the trigger the first time, you're going to get, it shows you the battery life. So you can see I still got 4 bars, of course. But you get this rabbit symbol or a turtle symbol. And I'll typically run it on the turtle symbol. We'll put it on the turtle symbol for this here that I'm getting ready to show you in the test. I'll be honest with you, I have no human noticeable difference between rabbit mode and turtle mode. Supposedly it runs it at a slower RPM to give you more battery life out of it. I've done my whole property in rabbit. I've done my whole property in turtle. I usually run it for turtle since I figure that must be easier on everything. But there's no human noticeable difference in speed or power, or the thing doesn't bog down, but you know, there's no noticeable difference. So we're gonna go through some pretty extreme stuff here that I saved just for doing this review, and I'll be running it in turtle mode for the entire time that you see me on here on this video. And again, I don't notice it cutting any less powerful. My batteries don't seem to last any longer. Maybe the turtle and the rabbit doesn't work on this one, but I doubt that. It's been that way from the very first day I got this. I don't see any difference between the two. I just run it on turtle mode. So you're gonna see me running it through this stuff. These weeds, you probably can't tell on the camera, but you'll be able to tell when I get down there. These are gonna be about waist high. So this is some pretty extreme weeds here, and it's thick. So, well, yeah, about waist high. So I'm gonna walk through this just so you can see this thing has plenty of power, even in turtle mode. I didn't have to bounce the string once, and you can see I still have a full spool of string. The thing about this guard is actually designed a little bit different than the steel. And upon initially looking at it, I thought it was going to be worse because there seems to be a lot less guard here. The reality is, for some reason, and I don't know why, the steel used to always throw rocks up in my face, throw grass up in my face, throw everything up in my face, even with the guard on it. This one doesn't seem to do that. I don't notice a problem with that. I mean, I got a little bit on me. It's highly recommended. You can see what I just cut. So I can cut through that, and let's see how much battery I have left. I still got 3 bars. So I was running non-stop with the trigger fully squeezed that entire time working this thing. You can't work it much harder than that. This stuff is really dense. So I don't know what kind of weed that is, but it grows dense. You will not regret buying this. And I know everybody's on that kick about, yeah, they're just trying to make us go green to get rid of our gas engines and make California happy. Well, you've seen at the start of this video what I drive. It's a non-emission friendly diesel truck, dually. So this ain't about going green with me. This is about what works better, what's more cost effective, and what's just more pleasant to actually use. And this thing just beats the steel hands down. So like I said, I guarantee if you trade in a steel for this Milwaukee 2 battery string trimmer, and I don't know how well the 1 battery works, I've never tried one, but I know if you trade in your steel, even if you got up to an FS 131, most people probably don't even have one that big, you trade that thing in and get this, and you will not be disappointed. You know, do what I did. Save the box, save the receipt just in case. Don't sell your steel yet. Get it, try it out. If you don't like it, take it back. Keep your steel. But I guarantee you'll do exactly what I did. That box got thrown in the burn pile with the receipt. I kept this. The steel got sold on Craigslist that same day that I listed it. No more having to drive to town for gas. No more pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling just to find out I let the last year's gas set in it too long. No, I got to take the fuel tank apart, clean it. I got to take the fuel lines apart and clean them. I got to take the carburetor off and clean it. It's a big hassle. With this, brand new, fresh charged battery, pop it in, it's ready to do work. You cannot beat that. Okay, I finished the entire property. And let's see how much battery I got left in these 2 guys. That's the first one. One bar and 1 bar. So just like I said, I do the whole property on a single charge of these 2 batteries. Get the quick charger here. Fan cools, and that'll have them charge here in no time at all.